In other news, the Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov is an ally of Vladimir Putin, and he said that Chechen fighters are currently deployed in Ukraine alongside Russian soldiers. It is an issue our terrorism expert Wasim Nasser has been looking at for us, and he's with me right now. Wasim, who are these Chechen fighters, and do we know where they are?
Yes, actually, those are the men of Kadyrov. It's not the first time that he engages his men to back the Russian army in military operations abroad. The last time was in Syria, and they were called the military police, acting in Syria a few years back and still today. What we should know is that the Chechnya is part of the Russian Federation. So he is engaged as in the ranks of the Russian army, despite the fact that those are his men, and they are responsible of many human rights abuses, either in Chechnya or abroad. We know where they are because they filmed themselves in many spots. If we can see a map, we can see where exactly they were seen involved. So they were involved north of Crimea, in the push of the Russian army north of Crimea, and also around the nuclear plant of Chernobyl, the exclusion area around the nuclear plant of Chernobyl. And we have the footage of both. Maybe we can see. So in the first footage here we see north of Crimea. It's a Chechen soldier. He's going to be removing the Ukrainian flag and putting a Chechen flag to replace it. But the most interesting is the military convoys that we saw next to Chernobyl, because very important military convoys. Here they are. We should know that this footage here we see them praying. We should know that this footage was filmed by the Chechens themselves and put on social media by the Chechen himself without saying where they are, but we got to know where it was. We know that another convoy, not this convoy, was hit by the Ukrainians further south. So actually, we don't know what happened to this very imposing convoy as we speak. But what we should imagine is that they are there, and they were there prior to the announcement of Kadyrov from Grozny, which happened yesterday.
Might the presence of these Chechen soldiers actually be able to change the course of the war in Russia's favor?
Well, we should know that they were always, as we were saying, part of military operations, but not a pivot point of the military operations. And here also we see them north of Chernobyl. And this is the big gathering that was made in Grozny, the Chechen capital. Here we see Ramzan Kadyrov speaking. In the background we had jihadi a cappella, sayings, and mixed with music, mixed with something like which gave it like a religious color, but actually no, it's not giving religious justification for the fight, but actually they are fighting, and at the end of the day, for Kadyrov. We see that you have thousands of fighters here, but we don't know what would be really the impact on the ground, because one more time they were always backing the Russian army, but never a part of real military operations. We had information that some Chechens were caught in Kiev trying to make some trouble before the beginning or at the beginning of the Russian military operation, knowing that as we speak, maybe the military operation is going too slow if we look at it as a way to put down the Ukrainian state, but it's going in the norms, or as a military operation, complex military operation should go. With big convoys, with soldiers, with tanks, etc., etc. So at the first phases of this military operation, maybe the Russian president would have liked it to go faster, but we are in the regular norms of a military operation as we speak. Maybe they will have another role, but I guess that the role that Chechen fighters will have is more of a propaganda and psychological role to put pressure on Ukrainians, knowing their reputation as fighters and the reputation regarding human rights abuses in Chechnya and abroad.
Thanks for your reporting, Wasim Nasser, for us there on the programme.